Welcome to On the Curbside, a show that brings you the latest in indie and alternative music news. That is right, you're here on the Curbside for another week with me, Jacob Roebuck, as per usual, bringing you the latest and the greatest in music news from right around Australia and all over the world. We're going to be talking about some new festivals, a couple of announcements of some tours as well, as some other little bits and pieces, and some really cool stuff coming out of Violent Soho regarding a little bit of a mini documentary on their Waco tour. So that's pretty exciting stuff there. We're also going to bring you all the same goodness of the gig guide, as well as some really lovely chit-chat of me talking to myself, having a blast as per usual. If you'd like to get involved, we'd love to hear from you. Hit us up on thecurbside.net, or you can find us at On The Curbside on Facebook and Twitter. And this show is also podcasted. If you're catching it here live on Phoenix Radio or maybe on Switch 1197, you can head over to wherever you grab your podcasts and just do a little search of On The Curbside, and you can listen to it back there. You can also grab the show in its entirety with its music and all its glory on our SoundCloud, which is just soundcloud.com/On The Curbside. But now, let's get on with the show.
On the Curbside, the music news equivalent of smooth sax.
That is right, smooth sax here on the Curbside. But right now, I want to talk about something pretty cool. Elfresh the Lion. You might know him from this track. We played it a little bit ago on the show. This one's called 1 in 100,000. And he's hitting the road in support of his new album called Become. So he's going to play pretty massive 14 dates right across the country, kicking off next month, moving from Adelaide up to the final stop in Brisbane. So he's going to be joined by Big Village Records' latest signee, Omar Musa, and spoken word poet, MC Sagjit. I hope I said that right. And all of his dates, except for the Adelaide and Gold Coast shows, where Luca Lesson will support in Darwin, and where Sampa will support in Darwin. Sampa the Great is going to be the one dropping some sweet support for Elfresh. So this is his second album and follows through from his 2014 breakthrough titled One. And it's featuring a roster of Australians hip-hop's sort of finest, including Remy as well as Jimbla. So a lot of really great Australian talent on this record from Elfresh. It's a little bit different, this stuff, obviously going back to his sick heritage. And it's just really, really great to listen to this sort of difference, but really great Australian coming through, like Australian hip-hop coming through all of that as well. And just really great to see someone absolutely killing it, regardless of anything. So he's going to be smashing it. And if you want to grab some tickets to those shows, elfresh.com is going to be the place to do that. And he's going to be playing, like I did say, kicking off the 5th of August in Adelaide, moving up to the Gold Coast, Darwin, Perth, Fremantle, and then into Ballarat on the 1st of September. And then he's going to be continuing right through until the 17th of September, where he's going to be playing the Foundry up here in Brisbane to close out that tour in support of his second album. So really exciting stuff. I wouldn't be surprised if this one was a bit of a popular one. Not massive shows as well, so there's not going to be a whole heap of tickets up for grabs. So if you do want to grab the chance or leap to the opportunity, one would say, to catch Elfresh, I would jump on it really quickly. Again, Elfresh, l-fresh.com is the place to do that.
Keep up to date with the latest music news at onthecurbside.net.
So Festival of the Sun has just has just released the dates that they're going to drop their 2016 lineup. So this festival has been going for a very long time, 12 years to be exact, and it's going to be back to light at Port Macquarie this summer, and it's going to be a big one. Looking at who's played in the past, these guys, bit of Jebediah, bit of an old one here from Jebediah.
This'll take some explaining, but I think you will agree.
Harpoon's the name of that one, from 2007. They played the festival line last year, along with Illy, Fundamentals, the Delta Rigs, Alpine, Eka Vandal, Hearts, Tide Lion, and that was only a mere tasting of the artists that were playing last year. So if that's anything to go by, I think this year is going to be a really, really massive one. So there's going to be some BYO options as well as the camping that was on offer last year for the 18 plus event. And it is a bit of a boutique one as well. So very, very exciting stuff. A little bit smaller as well as some other really great stuff going on. If you want to come down beforehand on Thursday, the 8th of December, you can catch the Fotsun markets as well as workshops and Port Macquarie's local hospitality and live gigs. And there's going to be a variety of beachside accommodation and limited tickets for only 3,000 people. And the date this is going on sale, the 1st of September. That's a Thursday. You might want to pencil that into the calendar if you're near Port Macquarie and want to head along. And as always, it does have a theme this year. Deep Sea Edition. So start getting your scuba diving and your mermaid costumes ready because you're going to need them to fit in at this year's festival. And if you do want to grab some more details on tickets or on the event just as a whole, the best place to do that is going to be fotsun.com. That's FOTSUN.com. It is going to be taking place Friday, the 9th and 10th of September at the Sundowner Breakwall in Port Macquarie. So you want to get along to it, get along to the Deep Sea Edition, maybe break out your aerial wig. Who knows? This could be the time for you to do it. And the lineup, August 15th, is the date. We're going to find out exactly who's playing, I should say. Got a bit lost there. Who's going to be playing? August 15th. Not a real long time from now, about a month or so. So keep your eyes and ears peeled because it is only going to be a matter of time before you're wishing you bought tickets to go see Fotsun in Port Macquarie.
On the Curbside, the music news equivalent of smooth sax.
Smooth sax indeed, but that brings us to the gig guide for another week. Kicking off Friday, 15th of July, LDRU is going to be playing at the Triffid in Newstead, Queensland. Seth Century is going to be at the Enmore Theatre in Newtown, New South Wales. Shehad's going to be playing the Factory Theatre down in Marrickville, New South Wales. George Maple is going to be continuing his tour right around the country, playing at Oh Hello in Fortitude Valley up here in lovely Queensland. That moves us to Saturday, the 16th of July. LDRU is going to continue around to Northcote Social Club in Northcote, Victoria. Seth Century is going to be at the ANU Bar in Acton, ACT. King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard is going to be at the Corova Lounge in Ballarat Central, Victoria. The Beard's going to be at the Gap View Hotel in Alice Springs. Shehad's going to be at the Croxton Park Hotel at Thornbury, Victoria. And Mashton Kutcher are going to be at the Crown Entertainment Complex in South Bank in Victoria. Moving to Sunday, bit of a sad one. Seth Century is going to be at the Home Nightclub at Cockle Bay, New South Wales. And King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizards going to be playing at Barwon Club in Geelong, Victoria.
Bringing you the latest in indie music news. It's on the Curbside.
That is right. And Violent Soho, also out of Brisbane like us, have just wrapped up their really massive Australian tour. Pretty sure it's the biggest one to date. They did hit the road with DZ Death Rays as well as June Rats, and that's off the back of their massive fourth album, Waco. So the Brisbane Rockers sort of hit the headlines before it even began, with the band standing up for musicians by condemning ticket scalpers who resold their tickets onward for huge profits a little bit earlier on in the year. If you don't remember this, those basically Violent Soho have been really selling out very quickly, all of their shows, and they were really annoyed that a lot of scalpers had bought off a whole heap of tickets from genuine fans and then reselling them back to the fans for really, really inflated profits, which is really unfortunate and something that really wrecks the industry as a whole. But they gave us a bit of a look into their touring life and some very eccentric personalities with the recent release of their new video for So Sentimental, along with this documentary. So this one gives a bit of a better look into what it's like to be on the road with the band, as well as their support acts, DZ Death Rays, June Rats, and the Gooch Palms, like I did mention before. So it was filmed and edited by Tim O'Keefe and shows the band on the road and features footage of the bands performing, hanging out, giving candid interviews, as well as lots of other good stuff like smashing booze, mooning the crowds, and just having a really goodly natured returning a shoe to a fan who had thrown her up on stage at the beginning of a set. But one thing that I really liked about this interview, and I'm going to play a snippet of it now, it's Luke Boardroom, frontman of the band, and he's talking about sort of how it is starting out as a band, and it's a really great insight to see how humble the boys have stayed throughout their massive success throughout the front year. And I'll give it to Luke now to take it away.
Most of the gigs that you get when you're starting out are shit. So you just start to like make it more fun, and making it is never a thing. It's basically just more about meeting up and playing the local RSL or pool hall, DS1 pedal and trying to party. And I think that's the history of all our bands. The fact we can somehow pull it off in a bigger venue is amazing too.
So really great to hear that, talking about all of the bands that he's on tour with there, as well as them, and what it's like starting out, and just how stoked they are to be able to hit the road and party and play some really great shows with their mates. So they're due to play Splendor in the Grass in a little while's time, as well as the new Canberra Festival, Spilt Milk, in December this year. So I don't think there's time to get Splendor tickets anymore, but they have just announced some new string of shows. Best place to get that info is heading over to their Facebook page or their social accounts, really. Going to be playing the River Stage with the Bronx. Really big shows. That's definitely going to be one of the bigger ones I think they've ever played before. So keep your ears peeled for that. It'd be great to see the boys at the River Stage on the grassy hill.
On the Curbside, the music news equivalent of smooth sax.
This guy, Hayden James, he's just announced a series of Australian headline shows in August and September this year. He's already going to be playing Splendor in July, as well as playing a show at Threadborough Uni Week Party very, very soon. So globetrotting doesn't seem to quite do this guy justice. He's done a whole heap of touring in the past, and this upcoming tour is going to take him every bloody where, would be the way to describe it. It's going to sort of kick off in the UK. He's in Europe at the moment. Then it's going to go back to Australia, then to Asia, back to Australia, then finally across to North America. So he's also just premiered his new single and much anticipated follow-up to his gold 2015 track Something About You. The new cut is called Just a Lover, and we are listening to it right now. And it brings some more of his really great electronic vibes. Just about impossible to listen to that one without bopping along and having a bit of a beat as well. So, Aussie shows. It's going to be supported by his fellow Sydney sider and producer, Dana Amy. And tickets are on sale right now. You can get them at www.haydenjamesmusic.com/HJ. So, kicking off Friday the 26th of August, he's going to be at the Triffid in Brisbane. Saturday the 27th of August, he's going to be at Max Watts in Melbourne. Friday the 2nd of September, he's going to be at the Villa Nightclub in Perth. Saturday the 10th of September, he's going to be at the Fat Controller in Adelaide. And Thursday the 15th of September, he's going to be at the Metro Theatre in Sydney. You want to see him? You want to have a bit of a party? Because I'm sure it's going to be a good one. You want to grab some tickets to those shows, whichever's going to be the most fitting for you to get along and see the man, Hayden James himself.
Keep up to date with the latest music news at onthecurbside.net.
That's right, best place to keep in touch as well as see everything that is going on. And we got a really exciting one now. Emma Louise has just announced a headline tour. So she's going to be setting out right across the country on a really massive tour this October and November, and bringing along her upcoming album, Supercry. Got a little track to slide underneath for you. I'm sure you would have heard it before. It's called Underflow. And she's joined Sam Smith on his run of sold-out shows right across the Aussie festival circuit this year. She's joined Sam Smith on a run of sold-out arena shows, and she's torn up the Aussie festival circuit this year. Plus, she's got upcoming stuff. Going to be playing Splendor in the Grass this year. And she's going to be bringing that new album, kicking off on the 15th of July is when you can catch the freshie from her Supercry. And this is one of those tracks we've caught off it, Underflow. And if you are listening to the show live on Phoenix or Switch 1197, or maybe streaming it on the podcast, we're going to play another track from her upcoming album, West End Kids, very shortly. But if you want to get some more info on the tour, where you can get your tickets, where exactly the venues are going to be, you better head over to www.emmalouise.net. And that's where you're going to be able to get all of the info there. It's going to be kicking off Friday the 17th of October. At the Workers Club in Geelong, Saturday the 8th in Melbourne, the 13th in Canberra, the 14th in Wollongong, the 15th in October, the 20th in the 15th at Newcastle, the 20th at the Gold Coast, the 21st at Maroochydore, then into Brisbane, Adelaide, Fremantle, Perth, Bunbury, and then finally wrapping up at the Metro Theatre in Sydney on the 4th of November, and that one there is an all-ages show. So if you want to get along to her, I'd get on it quick smart. Really great artist. Going to be amazing to hear this new album in full of hers. I'm really stoked and absolutely cannot wait.
Bringing you the latest in indie music news. It's on the Curbside.
And that wraps up the show for another week. If you want to get in touch with us here at On the Curbside, Facebook, Twitter, probably the best place to do it. Both of those are at On the Curbside. Otherwise, if you want to check out our website, see what's going on there, catch the gig guide in its written form, as well as links to all of the podcasting places, as well as our Spotify and all that great stuff. It's onthecurbside.net. Now, depending where you're listening to the show, there's other places you can listen. SoundCloud.com/on the curbside. Show gets posted in its entirety with music every week. Otherwise, wherever you get your podcasts from, whether it's iTunes, Google Play, whatever, On the Curbside. Do a little search on there and you can grab the edited down, usually about 20 minutes or so. Just got the news in their podcast version of the show as well. Otherwise, you can catch it here live on Phoenix Radio at 8 p.m. on Wednesday evenings, or rebroadcast on Switch 1197 from 7 p.m. as well. If you're listening in Brisbane, both of those have the opportunity to stream online. If you want to listen to it live, listen to it go out. Otherwise, catch a podcast, catch a SoundCloud. Let us know what you're thinking, how you're liking the show. Hit us up, because we'd love to hear from you. If you got anything you want to hear on the show, any requests, any feedback, look forward to taking it on board. All right, that wraps up for another week. Catch you guys next week. Bye-bye.
Tonight, I fell out of bed. Woke up with the hardwood floor pressed hard against my head. 'Cause you woke me up in the daylight, and knowing something was not right, I called in sick for work. Well, hey, you want a brand new person? That's just fine, yeah, you can have one. Cause we're all